I'll show you how you can use Notion to be your own boss. You are going to make a system that will make you to a level of an ultimate manager. What we are going to see in this video is something that I myself have used it. I used to be sitting in front of my laptop on my work desk for more than 12 to 14 hours in a day, starting from 5:30 a.m. in the morning and continued work up till night 9 p.m., sometimes even 10:30. As a developer, YouTuber, and researcher, I'm constantly juggling between learning new technologies, providing coding solutions, and making videos. In the middle, I had to give time to my family, to take some time off for myself and unwind. The Notion dashboards and templates, I was able to transform my life. I started to move away from my desk, and I can do a lot of my planning on my phone instead of sitting on my laptop. And the planning that I was doing, I could easily commit to the templates that I had already built and the dashboards that I have. You can see that I streamlined everyday tasks and the rituals, and the moment I wake up, I know what exactly my day is going to be made of. So by end of this video, I will show you how Notion and its long list of features can bring order in not just your life, but most of your family members' life also. Because the moment you start having a decluttered mind space and a system to manage your tasks and your goals, it is going to transform into positive vibrations around on the people around you. We are actually building a system, right? An ideal system should do a couple of things. It has to set clear boundaries between whatever you are trying to achieve and the supporting nodes, ideas, and data that is required for achieving it. That is, you need to have a demarcation between the nodes and the tasks. The system has to focus on outcomes. Whenever you start thinking about something in your life, we can see that it is a project. We can see it as a goal. We can see it as something that we want to get it done. That's it, as simple as that. But looking at everything as a project, a series of things, that tasks that you need to complete in order to achieve it, makes it much more easier to manage. So that's where the sustainable structure comes into picture. Irrespective of the stage of life you are in, you could be a digital nomad, a freelancer, individual contributor, or a parent, setting up a family or building a house. It doesn't matter. There are projects across the stages of your life and domains of work that you're doing. Efficient knowledge management is the fourth. Having a very strong and easy to retrieve knowledge base is crucial. Just to know where your weekly or daily routine for exercise is present is more important than actually starting to exercise. Because the moment you start to go for a workout, you will want to know what workout you are going to do. And rather than taking it out of your memory, if you have it in front of you on a phone or on a piece of paper that you have written it overnight, if that's what you like, then that's going to be a very good motivator. Finally, an uncluttered mind space. All of these things leads to this final step. When your tasks, your notes, your projects that you're doing and your stage in your life is clear and you have it all written down in front of you somewhere, it makes your life way more easier and it actually gives you a tremendous clarity. The moment you get the clarity, people around you start seeing you more confident, and you by yourself will start feeling more freedom and also more power. Whatever I have been discussing right now might have felt to like I'm talking about a note-taking system. But let me, make it a little more easier for you guys. If you are thinking that this is about a note-taking system, no, it's not about that. It's about having a system that is accessible anytime and anywhere. We can easily do note-taking on Obsidian. You can do it on Evernote. You can do it on Beer, whichever application you like. The key aspect is that you need to be able to access whatever you are planning anytime and anywhere, and you shouldn't be glued to a particular location. The more freedom you have, the more power you will feel. The more you write down and release the ideas from your brain and put it on a paper, the more free you will feel. So the problem that we are going to solve is pretty simple. As a creator, as an individual contributor, or you might be thinking about entering into freelancing, face one important challenge, that is managing your time. And the second is managing your resources. Notion is a tool that helps in creating an unified system the creators themselves can build. This is the key aspect that I'm talking about. You can build your own system the way you want, and you can access it across the timelines that you live, across the zones or locations that you are traveling. You can build these systems using the Notion templates, and the system actually is self-running, meaning you can create schedules, you can create templates, and you can let Notion, the scheduling system, to start pushing the tasks on a regular basis. Unlike other videos that show how to build a template, use Notion and showcase a particular template, this series of videos is about integrating Notion with your life. You must have already seen that. There are lots of videos out there you could have already watched, but the difference here is that why you need to actually shift using Notion. That's one of the main buy-in that you need to take right now. Once you have bought into Notion, because it's free, the thing about Notion is that you need to give time, at least minimum of half an hour to 1 hour, to test drive Notion and see what exactly it is all about. I will actually show you a couple of things in the next couple of minutes, and you will be able to understand what I'm talking about. We will also see in the future videos that how we can connect Notion to the Python client, and you can use ChatGPT to get much of your templates and the databases as well as the views set by ChatGPT support. I'll explain how everything has to be set up in the coming next videos. Now let us dive into Notion. So here what you're seeing is a Notion page. It looks pretty simple, right? So let me add an icon. Once I click on add an icon, I can actually give it an icon and I can add a cover. A Notion page is something that you can add your information. So here I am adding information. And in Notion, everything is a page. So now I'm going to take print screen of this entire slide, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to add it here. It's as simple as that. So everything in Notion is a block as well. So everything is a page, and inside a page everything is a block, and you can easily control the block size, and you can have different types of headings that you want. So you have heading 1, you have heading 2, and this is all very similar to how you will use Markdown. We already discussed about the page cover and the page icon. You can completely customize the page layout. So if I am going to create an additional page, let us actually create a 2-column layout, okay, and I'm going to create an additional page. And the moment I click on a new page, it opens a new page. So I'm going to say embedded 1. So this is a new page, and this is actually embedded in the earlier page that we created. So if I click on this breadcrumb, you can see welcome to Inside Builder, and if I click that, this is the title that becomes the page name itself. And you can see that embedded 1 is the page that we created. You can go here and you can add an icon so that you can actually give it a number. So if you come back here, you can see that it is now showing it as embedded 1. So this makes it easier for us to link the pages. By now you must be seeing how this is actually, transforming. Irrespective of what background you are in, the power of the linking that happens, right? The more pages you are linked together, the faster you can surface the ideas. So I'm creating one more page and I'm going to call it as number 2. And if I go back, you will see that there are 2 pages right now, and it is created in such a way that I can see both of them in columns. Next, we can actually play with the button automation, and we can create databases, and also we can play with the aesthetics of the blocks. So if I go here and if I change the color of the blocks, so I can change the heading color, the font color, and I can change the background to orange, Same way I can change it here also. These things are very fluent. What happens is the more you keep working with these things, you'll find a lot of interesting things to do with. What I want to show you next is the button automation. So if I create a button here right inside the notebook, right inside the note, I can say replicate, that is the button name that I'm going to give, and I can add a new action, and I can insert a block, and I'm going to insert a heading block, so which says, hey there, how are you, right? And I have to say done. And now you can see that the button has been created. I can change the color of the button again. You can go here, I can give a purple background, and also, as you might have already guessed, I can change the icon also. So I can give the icon a timer icon just to make it a little more interesting. And now I can say done here, and if I click replicate, you can see that it is creating hey there, how are you. So like this, you can use buttons. And now if you click on the Insight Builder back, and you are back on the main page. You can pull the web pages that you have by using Notion extensions like Notion Clipper and Save to Notion. You can add mind maps to Notion pages from the Excalibur or Obsidian using the Notion Excalibur helper. Final thing that I want to show you is to create a database. So if I come here and if I create a database, I can actually create a full page database like this, and here you can see that series of rows I have, and I can add numbers also, and I can add properties to this. And when I create a new page here, so this is page 1, so this page actually becomes part of the database. So if I click on this open, you can see that it is opening, and this is part of the database. You can see the number that is linked here and the select property that we showed here. So all of these things are customizable, and the entire database is inside the main page that we created. Now, what makes Notion stand out is the ecosystem that has been built around it. As I spoke to you already, you don't need to create anything from scratch. There is already a lot of templates that you can use from Notion, which is actually free, and you can learn a lot from these templates also. The extensions are one thing, and the most important thing is, even though the page that I started with was plain, it was empty, I was able to start building it in no time. This kind of mastery in Notion is actually very, very easy. Let us go back. Now you must have actually got this idea that Notion accepts your inputs, stores it for future use, and makes it easy to edit. These are the three things that we saw. So if you go back here, we did a lot of things. We actually changed, we created a database, and then when we are done with it, so let me name it as a database just to ensure that once you go back here, you can see that we have a database here, and you can change the icon if you want. So all of these things are going to help us to keep the things in context and use it in future. It stores the context, and finally it resurfaces it when we require. This fourth part, resurfacing, is a key aspect of building a system that is uncluttered and at the same time can help you in moving forward with your projects. This part, resurfacing part, is where Notion excels than any other system. We can build some similar kind of resurfacing parts and features in Obsidian's MakeMD plugin, which we will deal with later in the series of videos. We can build Notion for different teams, and we can work with different kind of activities and projects. As I already told, every goal and its projects are unique. The approach, the knowledge required might be different. The broad areas and the domains of expertise required might be different. However, the structure that we are talking about. Thinking about each and everything as a project which has series of tasks, and that tasks having nodes is going to be constant across the teams and domains. The page, as I showed you a couple of minutes ago, is a series of blocks. The page can be accessed via the API, the Python API that I was talking about, and the page can be your user interface. When you are going to build templates and dashboards, the page is going to be your user interface, and the databases that we saw just a minute ago is going to be your backend. We can easily convert the blocks into pages and pages back into blocks. This all might seem little overwhelming until unless you commit the time that I spoke about, 30 to 45 minutes of your time, and try out Notion. And finally, you can actually use databases and you can create views. Views are the backbone of the templates. We'll be seeing about a lot of this in the next video. So in the next video, stay tuned for that, will be about signing up for Notion and start using your first Notion template. We will see how to play with the Notion templates like how I showed you a minute ago, and we will also see how you can grow with Notion and move forward with implementing Python code, working with ChatGPT, getting databases, etc. in the coming series of videos. Do leave a like, comment your ideas in the comment section, share it with others whom you think will need a system like this, and subscribe to my channel for further updates on similar kind of videos. With that said, I would like to leave this video with 4 words, that is explore, explore, practice, practice. See you guys. Have a great time.